Overdrive with Tim and Wilf and myself. Topic for today, esports. Are they actually worth watching? Tim, this is actually a comment that you started out with, so I'm going to hand the first bit of this over to you.
Thank you very much. Now, the reason I say this is there's a lot of haters out there. I think we can have one amongst our trio in the shape of Wilf that will happily tell you it's not worth watching. But there's a reasonable argument that actually good drivers are also very good simulator racers as well. A brilliant example being Charles Leclerc, who without actually racing really before, went and absolutely wiped the floor with everyone in the online championship setup. And I think that's opened an awful lot of eyes to actually real talent in racing can also be a real talent actually on virtual racing. And actually, it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Okay, that's Tim's viewpoint. We'll hold that for the moment. Wilf.
You can take anybody who sits in front of a computer for hours and hours on end, a nobody who can do and become brilliant at virtual simulator racing. It doesn't give you proper drivers. You can put proper drivers in simulators, which they do when they do test drive, when they run through all the simulators. But you can't put Joe Bloggs who sits on there at like 23 hours a day, sitting there, and then comes on some sort of simulator and beats Charles Leclerc and goes, I'm the bee's knees. No, you're not. Shut up, go back home and feed the dog or something.
Okay, interesting point there, Wilf. I mean, let's go back a little bit, because a few years ago, was it Nissan had the thing that they were doing with the Gran Turismo series, where they were getting people out from playing Gran Turismo, and it was the whole Road to Le Mans thing, where they then held various events through Gran Turismo and got the best drivers, and then actually put them into endurance racing, and one of them went on to race at Le Mans. So it does show that there is a perspective there and a movement from e-racing into the real world, and we can have it going backwards, as Tim just mentioned about Charles Leclerc.
But there's still big events that go on for Gran Turismo and all of that have their own virtual racing events, right? And they have and they're massive. They're massive tournaments, and they hold them over in the States. They hold them over in Japan. That's down to just normal computer wannabes, right? But it's it's a slim 1% that can adapt from racing online to real racing.
Okay, so but the argument here is does that make it any less worth watching? I think that was Tim's point, is given the situation that we're all in at the moment, we're all in lockdown, in isolation, should we be dismissive of esports as a way of stopping us getting our motorsport fix?
If they put it as a proper simulator, if they put the drivers, the proper drivers, not Joe Bloggs down the road, all the proper drivers in the simulators, right, and have all the mod cons where if you do go off, you lose, like you can simulate the actual proper racing, not just I've crashed into the barrier at 150 mile an hour and spun around, I'm going to carry on. Right? Well, what's the point of that?
Yeah, I think this is probably, Wilf, where you're losing what the esports series is about. We're not playing pole position on an Atari console here. This is proper.
No, I watched it. I watched it with Lando Norris and beat challenged Lando and all that. So I'm not talking about the spectrum sort of burnout and all that kind of rubbish. All right.
Okay. Well, so
I think Wilf's just being, flummoxed by technology here. I think he's just scared a bit. He's still marvelling at electricity. Remember?
well, yeah, this is true. So, okay, Tim. You've heard Wilf's points there, and some of my comments on that. Getting back to esports, is it worth watching? Do you think that this pitting of Joe Blogs from the street, could be sat indoors, having a kebab and a couple of Swifties, taking on Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris and all the rest of it? Do you think that is a good thing?
Yeah, actually, I do, because actually it really does demonstrate the skill these drivers have got. There's always this suspicion that actually some of these drivers really aren't actually that good. And you get so many people that say, oh, I could beat them, but can they? This is actually direct comparison. Anyone in the world can now benchmark themselves against the world's best in an equal arena.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. It's a case of you could have Charles Leclerc's ghost car lap, and if you can keep up with him, you can actually say, okay, I'm as good as Charles Leclerc. But it also goes to prove that actually Charles Leclerc is also frighteningly good at anything racing-wise.
Or it'll just go to show that Charles Leclerc is not actually that good on a simulator.
Yeah, both are a very reasonable point that you put across there. Okay, just to add one extra element here into the esports, is it worth watching debate? I think, personally, I think it is worth watching. It does still give us that motor racing fix that's missing at the moment in the current lockdown situation. However, there's a bit of an element that's missing, in my opinion, and it is that sort of late night kind of, we've had a couple of Swifties, not that you should drink and drive, but we need to get to the kebab house before it shuts. That element of danger, that sort of risk of not making it to the curry house, to the kebab shop just before it shuts to get that last bit of food before you're on your way home, does seem to be missing.
Yeah, I mean, there is, something about that that's a little bit missing. It's, but you know what? Every bit of sport's slightly different, and what we need to remember is this is actually technology helping people really show their skills. And in this debate, there are always going to be 2 points of view. I mean, there's Wilf's point of view, and then there's the right point of view.
I mean, I would watch the esports, right? I would watch it if you actually, if in this current climate, if they turn around and put all the Formula One drivers, right, and they've done it all virtually, as you do, right, and put them all on the grid and go, right, that's what you're racing, right, this is the season, we can't go out and we can't race the proper circuits, we can't, let's do a virtual season, but use all the drivers. Not Joe Blogs down the road, because I could go on there and I could be as fast as Leclerc. Does it mean I'm as good as Leclerc? No, it doesn't.
How do you know?
Well, we've seen Wilf drive, so we know he's not as good as Leclerc.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think it's as good as 90-year-old Doris over the road, but
hey, I'm superb. I'm pretty fast when I want to be.
Yeah, when is that though?
Not much.
The interesting thing, though, about this is that it does give it would give someone like Tim the ability to show how quick he is.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it.
As long as it's in a straight line, because if it's going round corners, it'd be rubbish.
But it wouldn't matter, would it? Because it's just going to be in front of a computer screen.
Oh yeah, if you crashed him, you can just carry on again because there wouldn't be any problems.
Oh, there's that. Or we could always just take it to a kart track because that's never been done before.
No. Okay, so I don't think we're going to get a conclusive answer to the argument. Esports, are they actually worth watching? Tim, I think you put a very good argument forward. Wilf, yeah. No, actually, we have got a conclusive answer. Esports are worth watching. It's
No, you're just backing him up. That's not fair. That's just making 2 against 1. That's bullying.
well, yeah, the majority wins. 2/3 of this conversation agree.
Yeah, as I stated earlier, there's Wilf's opinion and then there's the right one. So
My opinion's always right. You're wrong. You know you're wrong.
Okay, let's leave that one there, guys, and thank you for watching. We'll catch up with you all again very soon.